Hey guys, welcome back to another video. In this video we will discuss the hazard perception test for UK drivers and we will review 5 of the real hazard test clips. These clips have been taken from real-life tests and are a great way to practice for the real test. Before we start with the clips, we need to understand some very important guidelines that you need to follow in order to pass the test. In the real test you will be shown some clips like this and you have to identify any developing hazards you see in the clip. A developing hazard is a hazard that has not yet developed completely but that may require you to take some kind of action, for example to brake or to change your speed. In each test one of the clips will have 2 hazards while the rest of them will only have 1 hazard per clip. You should try to click as soon as you see a hazard developing, but don't worry as I will give you a 3-click method that will guarantee that you don't miss any hazards and will allow you to score the highest no of points. If you don't already know for each of the clips you can get up to 5 points if you guess the hazard correctly and click at the right moment. Using this 3-click method will give you the highest chances of getting the full 5 points for each clip. In the real test, a flag will appear when you make a click. This flag indicates that your click has been registered. You can click as many times as you feel is necessary, but make sure to not spam click or click in a pattern as any of these actions may get you disqualified from the test. You won't be punished for making any extra clicks when there is no hazard in the video as long as you don't try to spam it. You should only click when you think a hazard is developing and use the 3-click method to make sure you get the highest score possible. The 3-click method. This method involves clicking 3 times when you see a hazard developing. First click. Click when you first see the potential hazard developing. Second click. Click when the hazard becomes more apparent and is likely to affect the driving situation. Third click. Click when the hazard is at its most significant point, where it requires the driver's full attention and possibly action. I will explain it further with an example. In this clip, as you can see, we are driving along a road with a pavement on the side and a side road ahead. A cyclist is approaching us from the side road, so for the first click we will click as soon as we see the cyclist. For the second click we will click when he has made the turn and is now going straight, and for the last click we will click when we get a little closer to him. Using this method you will have to click 3 times for any developing hazard you see in the video. With all that being said, let's now start with the real clips and practice our hazard perception. Here is the first clip. You have to be attentive and focus on finding any developing hazards. As you can see, there's a fire truck approaching us with its indicators flashing, so we will make the first click right now. We will make the second click as we get closer to the junction. And lastly, we will make the third click as the truck starts turning. Here is the second clip. As you can see, there is a puddle in front of us which may cause the approaching vehicles to take an unusual path and turn into our side of the road. So we will make the first click as soon as we see the puddle. We will make the second click as we get close to it, and lastly we will make the third click as we see the red car approaching. As we discussed earlier, one of the clips in the test will have 2 hazards instead of 1, so we have to pay attention to each clip and try to find the second hazard. As you can see in this clip, there is a cyclist in front of us and we are approaching an intersection where the cyclist may make a turn. So we will make the first click as soon as we see the cyclist is approaching the intersection. Then we will make the second click as we get closer to him. And lastly, we will make the third click as we get past the cyclist. Even if this one was not an actual hazard, you should still click as you don't get punished for making any extra clicks. Here is the third clip. In this one, as you can see, there are some people crossing the road ahead, so we will make the first click as soon as we see them. Then we will make the second click as we get closer to them, and lastly we will make the third click when they have crossed the road and the car has slowed down. Now as you can see, there is a car stopped in front of us with its hazard lights turned on and the driver ahead of us is slowing down, so we will make the first click as soon as we see the hazard lights. Then we will make the second click as the driver ahead of us slows down, and lastly we will make the third click as our car is slowing down while approaching the hazard. Here is the fourth clip. In this one, as you can see, there is a garbage truck on the road ahead and the garbage collectors are walking in the surroundings, so we will make the first click as soon as we see the truck. Then we will make the second click as we approach the person crossing the road, and lastly we will make the third click as our car comes to a stop. And lastly, here is the final clip. In this one, as you can see, there is a tractor approaching us from a side road. So we will make the first click as soon as we see the tractor. Then we will make the second click as it is turning, and lastly we will make the third click as it gets closer to us. That's it for today's video. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment down below, and if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a like and also subscribe for more. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.